Investigators are trying to figure out what led up to a crash that killed two pilots while they were landing after a race at a Nevada air show.
Officials with the Reno Air Racing Association said the planes collided at the conclusion of the T6 Gold Race this afternoon. Races for the rest of the event are now on pause. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha joins us now in studio with what we know about this deadly crash.
Yeah, Luke, many questions remain as to exactly what happened here. This crash took place during the last time Reno will ever host the air races, and I spoke to an aviation expert as to what comes next in this tragic investigation.
Tonight, the investigation is unfolding after two pilots died in a mid-air collision at the Reno air races.
And we saw all this stuff just falling out of the sky.
It happened after the T6 Gold Race ended. The two planes, a single-engine North American T6G and a single-engine North American AT6B, collided as they were in the process of landing.
Right as I looked up, within 2 seconds, the planes collided.
The Reno Air Racing Association identified the two people killed as Nick Mackey and Chris Rushing. Both were described as expertly skilled pilots and gold winners in the T6 class. Both pilots are from California.
Until you're safely on the ground and the engine's turned off, there's always risk somewhere.
Scott Miller is an aviation expert and a lecturer at the San Jose State University. He says the collision happened during the low-stress phase of the race, which is why the loss is so shocking.
A lot of people thought it was during the race itself. I initially did, because that's the high threat area. When you're going around those pylons and you're doing like this coming across, I was surprised to hear it was once the race was actually over and in the landing phase.
Now the focus turns to grieving and mourning, but also to the investigation.
That'll be the next step, collecting the interviews, talking to the other pilots that were involved in the race that were also maneuvering to land, and then try to develop a picture of what occurred. Did they have each other in sight? Were they maneuvering visually? What their sequences were for landing? Determining that information will be next.
And this is the latest deadly plane crash at the Reno air races. Last year, a pilot died after crashing during the third lap of the Jet Gold race, since the race started in the 1960s. The Reno Gazette-Journal reports there have been more than 20 crashes resulting in deaths. The infamous incident happened back in 2011, when 11 people were killed and dozens others injured as the plane slammed into the seating section near the landing strip.
Not any pilot can just jump in an airplane and start doing the racing in Reno. There's a very involved training and checking process that pilots and the crews must go through before they'd be allowed to race at the races.
Miller says people flying and those watching are really dedicated to the profession, as the air shows usually introduces people to the aviation industry, but safety continues to be the #1 concern.
As long as we're able to do it safely, I think we'll be able to preserve that for many generations to come.
Now, authorities have said there were no other reported injuries on the ground. Now, the FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board will be conducting a thorough investigation into the crash, guys.
It's a sad and shocking end to the Reno air races. And Garshpal, you were a reporter in Reno for a time. Just how close do people actually sit to where this accident happened?
Yeah, people sit really close, but this particular crash happened further away from the spectators. But as we've seen in years past, where the crash has happened close to the section, but luckily this one happened away from them. But it did hit close to some homes, but luckily no one there was injured. So good news there at least.